Cryptozoology is, by its very nature, elusive. Thus, we cannot say that we are exactly bringing you the facts, but we will do our best to help you see these mythical legends as we do. So sit back, relax, and wait. What's that behind you? Never mind. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to Cryptids on Cryptids, a folklore podcast. I am your host, Martin.
Hi, I'm Sid. I'm your other
The other
host.
host. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Good start. And what are we talking about today, Sid? After
So we have
that
the Skunk
fabulous
Ape.
intro.
Do we want to take that again?
No.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. We're getting right
All
into
right.
it.
We're getting right into it. We got the Skunk Ape this week, folks. He's got a lot of names, and a lot
Okay.
of interesting things.
First of all, it's called the Skunk Ape, which is great. I love that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about where it's from. But being a skunk and an ape.
Okay. Well, fun fact: it's neither a skunk. Well, I mean, it's not a skunk. I suppose you could call it an ape because it doesn't have a tail, but
Okay.
it's very intriguing. The reason it got the skunk ape name is specifically because it smells terrible, just so bad.
Smells like a skunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Does he
If,
have like cologne options? Like Axe
well,
is like $3. Axe is
okay.
like $3 at
This is
Walmart.
arguably worse, though. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief.
It's
Uh,
true. That's true. Old Spice, then maybe.
Old Spice slaps a little harder. I do use Old Spice deodorant, and I stand by this.
Maybe
I
some Old Spices, not even the deodorant, just some cool Old Spices.
like they just straight up strap a bag of peonies to this guy, and they're like, absolutely, this is fine.
Yeah, but like old peonies, like maybe some rosemary from the 13th century.
Like aged peonies.
Yeah, or maybe some basil, but from like 8 months ago.
I mean, I think that would just be just rotten basil. I think at that point you'd have sludge leaves. Uh,
Hmm.
would certainly one approach. However, this is a swamp friend, so there's only so much you can do that isn't like removing him from the swamp.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe move. Maybe move it.
Maybe just move him, take him out of the area in which he lives. He is a Florida, Georgia, Alabama boy. He's a
Oh
southern
wow, Florida native. Is this where Florida
Florida.
Man comes from?
We're gonna get to him.
We're gonna get to Florida Man.
We're gonna get to Florida Man. We're going to get to
Oh
the Florida
boy.
episode. Uh, who every once in a while we do research, and I'm like, oh, the cryptid's really interesting. And then every once in a while you get like, I don't know if you've watched Tiger King.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the people from Tiger King.
Terrible. Yeah.
Okay, think of that, but with cryptids.
Hmm.
Every once in a while, you do just end up with a person that does kind of look like have that sort of energy. Not a bad person, absolutely not, but just that kind of a little bit feral. Like they've devoted themselves so heavily to an animal that you kind of have to ask, are you okay? Like when you see your college professor and like, yeah, sure, they know a lot about classics, but I'm 100% sure they do not know how to change a tire. Like,
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
only so far you can get into academia before you are just completely useless in society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a professor that he knows so much. He knows so much about literature.
Yeah.
But the man is off the fucking walls, dude.
I feel like literature people do just be like that, though.
Literature people do just be like that, though.
Like, I am friends with a bunch of people who write all sorts of, like, wonderful art pieces and things like that, like poets, serial fiction writers. I love them dearly. They are, like, my best friends. However, some will just get calls from them at 3 a.m. and they're asking me like the logistics of how fall damage works in real life. And I'm like,
How does fall damage work in real life? Um,
I was like,
more
what?
than 10 feet, like 10 feet and less, it's gonna hurt your knees. 15 feet, I'd say you might be in breaking an ankle territory if you land wrong. 20 feet, you're definitely gonna hurt something a lot more than you want. 30, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
I'm just
facts.
like, who let you out? Who let you out? What happened?
What happened? Stay in your little book cove.
Go back to the library. You
Go back to
nerd.
your little
Like,
book
really?
house. Stay there.
Stay there. Or they'll be on the internet. Like, I don't consider myself a person who reads a lot of fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I know it exists, you know, because I did go to middle school. Uh, and fan fiction is incredible as far as you can find anything you want. So I
Mm-hmm.
was reading one day and I came across a username that looked really familiar. Uh, and I
Oh
started
boy.
reading, and I recognized the writing style, and I had to call one of my friends and ask them to their face, "Hey, I think I found your AO3 account.
Oh
Um,
no.
what do you want me to do about that?"
Leave immediately, Sid. If you know what's
I
good
was
for
like,
you.
"What do you want me to do about that?" And they were like, "Oh, you can't find anything on my AO3 account. Spoiler alert, you can find what somebody's given kudos on their AO3 account."
You
And
can
you,
find a lot of stuff.
yeah, like their most liked like pieces, I guess. Like if somebody goes and reads a certain piece, you can find that. Um,
Yes, you can.
don't, but you can. But we're talking about the skunk ape.
Yes. What is the skunk ape a scholar? Do you think?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
What is the skunk ape all about then? What's this guy look like? We know he's from the south, so.
He's a southern boy. An old fashioned southern boy. He's been there since the settler sort of period.
Oh
Uh,
wow, an old
settler,
man.
I do mean like the original like as tribes sort of moved into that area, there were records of this thing existing.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
However, the descriptions don't necessarily vary, but they're like consistent in a very specific way. So basically, you get large, foul smelling, ape like creature, bipedal in structure, seen
Hmm.
absolutely just booking it all the time, like full on sprinting.
Is he
But
always sprinting?
I guess like the main sightings are of this guy just hauling it, which does
Shawling his ass.
just zooming, absolute lad, just booking it. But I do mention this because we have to go through a quick rundown of all the names that this fellow's got. Um,
Okay. Yes.
so you got the swamp ape, right?
Swamp ape. So not the skunk ape, the swamp ape. He's
Swamp
just an
ape,
ape in a swamp.
yeah. You got Florida
Okay, I
Big.
think. Hold on. Before we should go through all these, I think we
Mm,
should rate each one.
okay,
Okay,
all
so
right.
skunk ape already bad. I don't like the skunk part. I don't like the ape part. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 because it fits very well. Because
Eight out of 10.
it smells bad, and it doesn't just say smells bad ape. I think smells bad ape would be 10 out of 10 for
Okay,
me. Okay,
so
cool.
swamp ape gets a what's
Swamp ape, he's just an ape in a swamp. 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna do Florida Bigfoot.
Um, Florida Bigfoot. It's like Bigfoot, but in Florida, and we already know Bigfoot doesn't exist. 3 out of 10.
Okay. Similar vein, Louisiana Bigfoot, which doesn't make any sense because there's no records of sightings in this thing in Louisiana. So,
Well, Louisiana is better than Florida. 4 out of 10.
all right. Uh, you got the Swamp Squatch,
Swamp
more
Squatch.
general.
I like Swamp Squatch. The feel of it is good, but I still don't think it's a Squatch. I do like the alliteration though. 7 out of 10.
All right. Last one, Swamp Cabbage Man.
Oh man, that's so good. 10 out of 10.
Swamp Cabbage Man.
Swamp cabbage, man.
Swamp
It,
Cabbage Man.
it
Which,
if you put cabbage in a swamp, it's gonna smell bad. That's just facts.
The only thing I can think of when I read the word swamp cabbage man is someone just lost coleslaw in the swamp and it didn't get through.
Yeah, it just
The smell of that makes me angry. Just like the very thought.
it's
It's
not
like,
even like coleslaw because you don't get that ranch. You just get that humid leaf smell, the humid rotting leaf
ah,
smell, and I ugh.
no, no,
And
no.
that is very evocative. 10 out of 10. Swamp cabbage man.
Swamp cabbage man.
I like
Ah,
that it's also not ape. I like that it is just the swamp cabbage man.
yeah, which does imply that this is just some dude that the farmer's market lost one time.
Yeah, no, it really gives me like in Avatar, the guy who was always like, my cabbages.
I
Yeah,
was
he just
gonna
got
bring
lost
that
in a
up. I was
swamp.
hoping you would.
He just got lost in a swamp, I think. Is,
Yeah,
is how
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
happened.
Absolutely. So, to get into a little bit more specifics of this guy, now that we've gone through all the fun names that he has,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so he's a little shorter than the Bigfoot, which everyone knows does not exist, so it means largely nothing to us. So we're
Yeah.
looking at somewhere between like 6 to 7 feet tall.
6 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, with patches like an orangutan on the shoulders, where it's kind of got that like longer fur up on the shoulders, and
Okay.
it's rusty red color.
So maybe it is an orangutan.
Sort of, yeah. Except it doesn't mention long arms. It just says this thing can absolutely haul it. Like that is mentioned a lot. I would not bring this up. It's in like I sent you a quick rundown of like a few facts about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, did not mention like the frequency of which all of these is like you get a variety of articles and each article kind of goes over a different aspect of this thing. All
Mm-hmm.
of that this guy can just absolutely just bomb it.
Just
It's a
booking it.
and like when I say bomb it, I'm not like you've seen a human run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the estimated speed of this thing is?
Can I guess?
22 miles an hour.
Okay, I can't guess, but 22 miles an hour is faster than I could run. It
22
is
miles
not.
an hour is like the speed of a car in like a
22, yeah, is like me driving through a neighborhood.
yeah.
22 is the speed of me driving through a neighborhood at the regular 25 before I see a speed limit sign for 15.
Yeah. I can't imagine anything going that fast. Like it is you turn the corner and you just make eye contact with this thing and it just runs you over. Just like
It's just like already running you over.
you're not winning that fight. Like you're not. It's
Well,
just
it can run that fast, but I don't know that it can move that fast. You know what I mean? Like if he tries to dodge a left hook, is he going to dodge it at 22 miles an hour?
you're not dodging anything at 22 miles an hour. Like you are a mortal human being.
I'm
That's not
saying
gonna
that
be
I'm saying
how
that
that
he
is.
could run at me at 22 miles an hour, and that would be bad. But if I were to try and like punch him, would he be able to dodge me super fast? What I'm asking is this the Flash?
I don't
Does he
know if
do everything super
dodge it
fast?
at 22 miles an hour, but the idea of a Matrix ape does intrigue me greatly.
Yeah, I kind of like that this thing is like the Flash, but
He just, oh my god, did you see Zootopia?
yes.
You remember that sloth from the DM?
Flash?
Name was Flash.
Yeah.
Energy,
Same energy.
same
Interesting.
energy.
Is it because you think that Flash is stinky?
It's because no, I think it's just because like picture I just picture this guy sort of looking like an apish, sort of sloshish kind of creature, and you come up and you're like, oh, like Bigfoot doesn't move all that fast. You know, if Bigfoot were to exist, you don't reckon he would go that fast, or like the Yeti is not super fast. They're not exactly known for their speed. And then this guy comes out and you look at him and you're like, oh, it's just a big, dumb guy. And he just zooms. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think emotionally I could recover from that.
Yeah, I don't think if I was just like walking through the swamps, the swampland,
Mm-hmm.
and this thing just like zoomed by me. Okay, can we talk about how it's 22 miles an hour in a swamp though?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in a swamp he runs like that fast, which is crazy.
That does just kind of make me wonder if he's got like the swamp equivalent of snowshoes.
Yeah, he's figured that out. He's figured out swamp technology, which I think is like the opposite of snowshoes, right? You want like stilts maybe, kind of, but like
Yeah.
not super tall.
He could have those like running stilts. Have you seen those that are meant to be prosthetics that you
Oh
can like?
yeah.
Yeah, he's out here zooming.
Yeah, he's flying.
That's a concept. Could be a guy on like a guy on stilts in a cape.
That would make sense of why he's so tall.
Yeah, he's just zooming around with
Just
the.
zooming around. And he's got okay, do you think the like long hair on his shoulders flaps in the breeze while he runs?
I hope so. One can only
You can only hope, right? You
because
think that would
like
figure into his name.
see here's my thing. If he runs that fast, it's like the fur just becomes the speed lines. Like he just looks like a comic
The
character
fur just
accelerating.
becomes the speed lines. Well,
Vroom.
hold on a second, Sid, because I
Mm,
have a theory to pitch to you.
absolutely.
Okay, my theory is maybe it's not long hair on his shoulders that's flapping in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's wings
God damn it.
flapping to propel him forward at an even greater speed.
I am long suffering. I am long suffering. I am a victim to bird theory. Please raise your hand now if you've ever been personally victimized by bird theory.
It's just you, Sid.
It's just me. I am the only
I'm
one.
so sorry. Someday we'll get you like a bird theory support group.
I was gonna say, I would like, if somebody wants to make me a bird theory support group t shirt, I'll wear it.
Bird
I,
theory support group. Yeah,
I'll
that's
wear
our
that
first.
unironically.
That's
A
our first
sticker,
merch.
something, please.
We'll get you a bird
For
theory
just $2
support
a
group.
day, you too can help poor innocent podcast hosts victimized personally by bird theory.
What you should do is you should contact Sarah McLaughlin. Should tweet at her.
Is she gonna like zoom in on my face doing the arms of the angels thing?
In the arms of an angel. That's how it goes, right?
And then you're gonna come
Fly
in.
away, and then you get triggered by the birthday.
Yeah, like immediately, it's just a person with wings. They just start crying.
Oh man,
I Sarah McLaughlin commercials, man. I am weak sauce. I am a weak emotionally. So when it comes to like cute animals on
you're a
TV,
week.
do it.
Like 7 days,
Yeah,
seven
se-
whole days
7 whole days.
of weak sauce. I don't think
I
you could
am.
live off 7 whole days of weak sauce.
I couldn't. I do prefer like actually spicy sauces, but
Yeah, for sure. That's
I am
important.
a weak. I'm 7 whole days. Because they play the Sarah McLachlan commercials on TV and they show the sad puppies, and I just can't do it. I can't. It's
Yeah. Please don't be sad, puppies.
what can I do?
Oh, can I have them? Can I have the puppies? I'll make them. I'll give them all the food and steak, and I don't know what did dogs tennis balls? Just so many
Tennis
tennis
balls,
balls. Yeah, mostly just food though. Mostly food. That's what I'd
mostly
give them.
food.
It's just so much food. Like,
See, I run into the problem a lot where I don't think I could ever be like a super great parent
mm-hmm.
because as soon as any small creature looks at me with sad eyes, like that's it. They get
Yeah,
whatever they.
you just kind of it's that's my thing is my dog has figured out that I'm the weak one in the family, and so
Yeah.
every time that my dog wants something, they go to me, and they're like, "Hey, I want food," or "I would like to go outside, please." And they just, I'm like, oh, not right now. I'm in the middle of clowning on some noobs in Overwatch, and my dog's like, "But please," and then I'm like, "Okay, I guess. Let's go." And then I get uh, ranked in SR because I left the game to go let my dog out. It's a true story.
A travesty.
It
But
was.
it's on the dog.
What
Like
was
think
that?
about it. You made his little dog day.
Yeah, I did. That's what's important. Is my dog having a good day?
It is. Dogs having a good day is the most important thing, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, you
But
think about these
what
cryptids
I'm
out
wondering.
in the woods, and, like, they don't have anybody to make them happy. Like,
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I was gonna ask. Does Skunk Ape have anyone trying to make his day?
Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh yeah?
Y'all ready to hear about Dave Shealy, the
No.
motherfucker in Florida?
Okay, actually, yeah. Do tell me. Do tell me everything.
Alright,
I need to know
let's
about
go.
Dave.
Okay, so
Dave
I'm
Shealy.
really wait on the sightings, but we have to
Okay.
mention Shealy because this man is the first recorded like publicized sighting of the swamp ape in 1974.
Mm.
So picture this, all right? Go
Okay,
with
I'm
me.
picturing.
Okay, close your eyes. Think about this. You are 10 years old. You live in Florida. It's the 1970s. Big hair and tie dye, I think, and all that shit.
Yeah.
1970s, yeah. Okay,
Lots of weed, some LSD.
yeah. Big hair, tie dye, all those things.
Rock was starting to be a thing, and there was a lot of also racist rock, which is
Ah, which is
just par for the course, I guess.
not cool. But you picture that. Picture you're in that space. You're in that zone. You live
Yeah.
in. It's hot as fuck all the time. It's awful.
God, it's so bad. I need to leave. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
You live close to the Big Cypress National Preserve. Big like swampish area sort of thing.
Oh, cool. So it's even worse because there's a big swamp there.
Mm-hmm. You're
This
10 years.
hot, stinky swamp. I'm 10 years old. Actually, I
Mhm.
want to go in there so bad now. Hold on.
You're 10 years old. You are just kind of sitting. You're about to go explore in your backyard. Your big brother's with you. You think you're gonna go
Okay.
do cool, right? You're gonna go and explore that swamp.
Yeah, my big brother. He's so big.
Yeah.
We're going to
Do you know
explore
what you
this swamp.
see?
What do I see?
You kind of look out over the swamp with your big brother,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a whole ass 7 foot tall lad just zooming,
Zooming? Like
just
running.
zooming. He books it out of the swamp. He makes like direct eye contact with you, and then just turns around and just hauls it out of there.
Direct eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if humans work by duck rules, but I think that makes the swamp ape his mother now.
That's a good point.
It's a
I,
great point.
I don't know. So you're 10. You've just had this experience with your older brother.
Yeah.
It's your first brush with the supernatural. What do you do now?
Probably tell my brother and then pick up a stick and go chase after it.
Uh, no. I mean,
No?
but you decide that you're going to dedicate your whole life to this thing. And you're going to find it, no matter the cost.
If someone told me, like, oh no, that thing isn't real, I think I would have enough spite to go and dedicate my whole life to it. Hell, I'm doing a podcast on things that people say aren't real because fuck it, dude. Maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
That's my point.
Just imagine that you are 10 years old, you have this first brush with the supernatural, you go home and you like have a super villain-esque moment with a cork board and red string like tying the pieces together for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just decide that, yeah, I'm gonna keep going into the swamp until I find it. And you do that, and you see it 3 more times.
3 more times?
3 more times.
Chile, man.
And then, this isn't quite enough for you. So you decide that you want other people to be just as hype about this thing as you are. So do you know what you do?
Start a band. Nope.
You write an entire field guide.
Yeah, that makes more sense than the band thing, huh?
What would you call your swamp cabbage band? What would you call that?
The Swamp Cabbage Band. That's so good.
Swamp cabbage band. That really does just sound like an indie band, doesn't it? Damn.
Skunk Ape, the Field Guide, the band. The show.
The band. The show? Absolutely. Absolutely, you do that.
Skunk Ape, the band of the show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I guarantee absolutely no one's gonna get that reference. Not a single person watching this, except for one, and I know exactly who it is.
Well, not a single person watching this because this is an audio medium.
We all understood.
I
Anyway, there's
live
this
in
thing where it's like,
technicalities.
there's this thing where it's like, God, I don't even remember what band it is, but it's like a TV show about the band, and it's called The Band, The Show. It's like Queen, the Band, The Show, or something like that, but it's not about Queen.
Oh, wild.
I don't remember who it is. But it's a great name for anything, honestly.
That does sound like... That sounds like you just choose to stack medium on top of
Yeah, exactly. Just
like, at that point, you're just
stacking.
playing, like, media Jenga. You just want to see how many of them you can tower up before the whole thing falls over.
This is Skunk Ape, the band, the show, the card game. You know?
Yeah.
This is Skunk Ape, the band, the show, the card game, Broadway production.
You want me to stack this with what this guy actually did?
Yes, the field guide.
Okay, so here we go. Skunk Ape the Field Guide. Skunk Ape the Field Guide, the TV appearances. Skunk Ape the Field Guide, the TV appearances, the investigations. Skunk Ape the Field Guide, the TV appearances, the investigation, the research headquarters.
The research headquarters?
Skunk
Hold
Ape
on.
Guide, the TV appearances, the reported sightings, the research headquarters, the literal fights with biologists.
Okay.
And I think that covers it.
Okay. Hold on.
Let's
I need to
unpack.
back up.
Let's
to back up. Because first this guy made a field guide. Understandable. You do a TV show to, like, boost the ratings of your book or whatever. Great.
Yeah.
Then you establish a headquarters. Now, I love
Yes.
this. I love this. Because, first of all, it's a headquarters. It makes everything more official. That's just a fact. Second of all, when he gets into the literal fights with biologists, now he has a WWE ring. Now, I am, without knowing the full context of this man, 90% sure that the reason that he made a headquarters was that he could say, like, oh, we got this research from headquarters. And then the biologist would be like, that doesn't fucking mean anything. And then he would throw hands.
See,
Am I right?
kind of.
Okay, I'll take it.
Kind of. Because I'm going to have you follow me into this new cool direction.
Yeah.
He's like Batman, but for skunk apes.
Batman, but for Skunk Ape.
Because, you know, he built the research headquarters in his backyard. Like, it is just on his property. His house.
It's like, welcome to Skunk Ape headquarters. And it's like a shed in his backyard that he built with his own hands. It's like put together barely. The door falls off when he goes to open it.
It's like one of those put together sheds that you like drive up to in Anderson's and you see them out front. You can buy them for like $500.
Yeah.
They give you a kit.
They'll just give you the whole ass shed if you want.
Yeah, he's got that. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Gravity Falls before. If you're familiar with the Mystery Shack, same energy. Like he sells Skunk Ape T-shirts. There are copies of the Skunk Ape Field Guide, which you too can own for $4.99.
Four
Uh,
ninety nine. Wait, I'm buying that right now. Hold on.
yeah, $4.99. I
Four
think
ninety nine. What a deal.
technically $4.95 at the gift shop.
Get a little bit of a discount. That's worth traveling to wherever the fuck. Florida? Actually,
Florida,
no. Definitely not worth
Florida,
traveling to Florida. Don't go to Florida for that. Alright.
Florida. Yeah. Uh, so he makes like active like trips into the swamp. He makes field guides. He goes for track preservation. He like fills them with plaster and then takes them back to his Skunk Ape research headquarters. We're just gonna call it Skunk HQ, if you will. Uh, we could also call it Swamp Cabbage HQ. Up to you.
Wow. Hold on. I found his website.
You found his website? Oh my god, it's a gold mine.
It's hosted by someone else. But
Mm-hmm.
I found the Everglades Skunk Ape Research Field Guide, and it's a hand-drawn image. I bet he drew it.
This week?
What was that?
Is that the tweet for this week?
The image that he did? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna tweet that out right now. That's so important. Alligators
Yeah.
and snakes and ice cream. But
Oh
not
my god.
the skunk ape.
Oh, I found it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great. I definitely suggest you go find his his website,
It's
his
open
book.
9 to 5, 7 days a week, closed on holidays. There's camping. You can camp at
You
the
can
Skunk
camp there.
Ape.
Sid.
Yeah,
We have to
yeah.
camp there. We
Oh my
have to.
god.
We have to at some point. At some
Oh my
point.
god. There's a zoo!
Oh my
And
god.
we're on a Skunk Ape tour. Oh my god. That's a man holding a very large fish. I understand nothing about the skunk ape. Where's the bit where we get to go into the woods and see the skunk ape?
Yeah, please do that. I want to see it right
They
now.
have a skunk ape headquarters sticker with the skunk ape on it that just says social distancing champion.
Oh, that's amazing. If you think about
And
it, all the
also
cryptids
a
are social
plunger.
distancing champions. Oh, man.
A plunger.
This
And
is so good. Please go to our Twitter, which is at @oncryptids, and go like search this thing up. I'm gonna tweet out the picture of this, and I'm gonna tweet out the link to his website because this is so important. All
it's a
right,
gold mine.
it's so
This is
important.
incredible. This is so good. I'm enjoying this immensely. I saw his website, but didn't like super go into it
It's
because I was intrigued with the Smithsonian articles written about this man and his skunk ape nonsense.
there's Smithsonian articles.
Yeah,
God,
we haven't even gotten to the bit where he like gets in fights with biologists. We're still at
interesting.
research
Wait, I want to
headquarters.
hear about these. I want to hear about these fights.
So, okay. The first thing you need to know is this man calls himself the Jane Goodall of skunk apes, which,
The Jane Goodall of skunk apes.
yes.
Oh my god.
So, pause for a moment. Let's think about that. Let's play in this space.
Okay.
What the fuck? Did he go live amongst them?
Did
Where
he?
them?
I'm worried about this man because it seems like he just like walked into the woods and stayed like into the fucking swamp for a while. Like, is he okay?
I wonder because this does just kind of sound like a swamp-based fever dream that he's just out there vibing in the
It
woods.
does.
Like instead of being raised by wolves, he was raised by skunk apes.
Ever since he was 10.
Yeah, they stole his brother and they took him into the woods and trained him like a goddamn ninja turtle. A skunk ape killed his parents and he decided he had to become Swamp Cabbage Batman. Like, oh
Oh my
god.
god.
Because then, so he calls himself the Jane Goodall of skunk apes. He is very, very adamant that he is the leading expert on skunk apes. He's had the most sightings. He has been on TV for this. He was on an episode of Finding Bigfoot from Animal Planet. Um,
That's
and
key.
then, sorry?
That's key. That's great.
Yeah, he was on Finding Bigfoot for Animal Planet. And then the producers were like, we are not going to go into the swamp with our camera equipment to see this skunk ape. And he's like, no, guys, really, you really should. And then they were like, can you fake it in your backyard and have like a theoretical sighting there? And he's like, no, come into the swamp with me. And it was apparently a whole logistical nightmare.
Hey, come on. Come on down into Dave Shealy's swamp. We got t-shirts. He looks exactly like you think he would. He looks exactly like you think he does. Like, imagine a
Honestly,
guy who has spent their entire life hunting Bigfoot and calls himself Jane Goodall but a man and for a cryptozoological creature. And, yeah, just take his hair away and that's him. That's him. God. He looks
this
exactly like
is
you think he does.
just incredible. So then we get into the point where actual biologists come up to him and they're like, hey, we don't think this thing exists. And he's like, no, let me tell you what I found. And that's one of the reasons the field guide exists. Because he put it together and he's like, I understand more about this than you ever will. Um, you don't love him like I do. Like that energy,
You don't love my son like I do.
like that energy, but for the existence of a thing.
The
Like
existence of a swamp ape.
either it does or it doesn't.
A stinky cabbage man. Fuck.
Like, oh my god. He says the smell of the skunk ape is specifically like a wet dog and a skunk mixed together. And that every time you see this thing, it just absolutely bolts. And the biologists are like, hey, we really don't think a creature that's 7 feet tall could move at 22 miles an hour. And he's like, again, you don't know him like I do. This is just sometimes.
You don't know him like I do. Okay,
Like,
also, oh my god, a wet dog and a skunk. I'm pretty sure a wet dog and a wet skunk just smell the same. Like, why not
I
just
have
say a
no
wet
idea what a
skunk?
skunk smells like. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you have like scent blindness.
Yeah, fun
That's
fact,
exciting.
we mentioned this before on the show. My nose doesn't work too good, which means skunk smells and any skunk related smells, such as, I'm pretty sure cannabis fits in that. I don't smell it. I have no idea what it smells like. I thought skunk scent was a meme until very recently when I was driving with some friends and they were like, ew, a skunk. And I was like, you don't have to make that joke anymore. I understand that skunks don't smell. And they're like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
I
Just
was convinced it was nothing more than like an elaborate joke that skunks smelled bad.
just just a joke. Oh
Like,
my
my
god.
friend's dog got sprayed and I had no idea.
My dog got sprayed and then my dog hated the smell of it and was
Mm-hmm.
so like upset about getting sprayed and then next time she saw a skunk, she just ran headfirst into it and yeah, got sprayed again.
Oh my
And
god.
you're like, you learned nothing. You were the dumbest dog.
She's doing her best.
She's trying so hard, but she's so dumb. I love my dog.
I
She's great.
sounds so good. Your dog is a good dog. She's smart
Yes.
and has no street smarts.
She is smart sometimes. She knows how to open doors. But here's the thing about that. She's an asshole, and if she doesn't have to open the door, she will make you do it.
So let me get this straight. Let me recap the things we've learned about your dog this episode. She's identified you as the weakest member of your family, and that she can manipulate you to get the things she wants. She can open doors. She will not learn that if a thing makes a smell that she doesn't like, not to fuck with it.
I wouldn't say that like she's not manipulating me. She just knows that I'm gonna like actually respond if she needs something. Because when I'm home, my dad's like, ah, yes, no responsibility, and all he does is feed her in the morning, and then the rest is up to me.
Ah,
Like walking the dog, uh, you know, cleaning up stuff, and just like everything, all of that. That's me. So she just knows that when I'm home, if you need something, go to Marty.
yeah.
Which she's like pieced this together. That my dad is like, ah, yes, no responsibility time. Um, she also has figured out that she can jump the fence to get upstairs when we fence her off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she only does this when we're not home because she knows that if we see her jumping over it, we will get mad at her. But she doesn't. She can't realize somehow that we know that she's jumped the fence because the fence is still up, but she's upstairs, right? Like she hasn't figured that we can figure that out.
She's like, if you don't see me do it legally, there are no consequences.
Yeah, yeah, legally none.
I have decided that your dog is a trickster god.
Yeah,
That's big trickster god energy. That's you
my
can't.
dog is very smart, but also at the same time so dumb.
She's doing her best.
She is. She's great. Also doing their best to convince the world that the skunk ape exists is Dave Shealy. I want to hear about how this man threw hands with the biologist.
So he didn't physically fight a biologist, but
Okay.
at like flame wars. I didn't know people in academia like I'm okay. I go to college. I deal with a lot of like academic research papers. I'm in a field that has a lot of those, you know.
Uh huh.
So the biologist will publish a thing and they're like, the skunk ape doesn't exist. And then Dave Shealy will publish like a field guide and be like, no, fuck you, the swamp ape does exist. And the biologist will go up to him and they're like, please stop telling people this thing exists. It's not real. Like, don't. Stop. Please. And he's like, it goes 22 miles an hour. And they're like, no, it does not.
Hmm.
And then he's like, well, I'm going to get an interview. He like made such a ruckus about this thing that like the Smithsonian people came out and they're like, we've got to talk to this guy.
we gotta
And
tell. We gotta tell him he's wrong.
they do. They go and talk to him.
All right.
They're like,
I want you to dive in depth on this because I need to go grab my charger. But I'll
oh,
be right back.
sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, we'd like an interview with you, Mr. Shealy. If you could tell us how you like experienced the skunk ape for the first time. We kind of went over his experience earlier. Imagine you're 10, and this is just how this is. Uh, he's now 50 years old, and the entire 50 years, he's just relentlessly pursued these skunk apes. And he explained this to the Smithsonian people. And he's like, I am the expert, the state and county expert on like Florida skunk apes. I've been that for years. He has multiple videos encounters. He has multiple photo like evidence of this creature. He has like a time, like a series of months that's like the best to go out and hunt skunk apes because the swamp is less swampy. I guess there's like a dry season, but he's like explaining to the Smithsonian people all of this stuff. And then there's a cutaway midway through the article where they talk to biologists who just sound so tired. It's hilarious. Because they're like, if the skunk ape did exist, um, we would have seen like a body or bones or something. Anything other than like the evidence that you have, which is like footprints
Anything
and
other
photos
than a
and things.
10-year-old. Hi, I'm
Yeah.
back.
Hello. And then he explains that there's no way the skunk ape. He's like, here's okay. I'm so sorry. I'm a little confused. No, this is just so batshit. His best explanation on why biologists don't know and like won't believe the skunk ape exists is because the swamp decomposes things so fast. It's possible that all of these things have like died with like no one noticing.
That seems implausible. Okay, I
If a
did just like
skunk ape
run to get my
dies,
charger, so I'm a little out of breath.
it's all good.
Um,
If a
but
skunk ape dies in the forest and no biologist sees the body, does it or does it exist?
if you shoot a skunk ape in the swamp and it falls over, is it decomposed before it hits the ground? And the answer, according to Dave Shealy, is yes.
Yeah. He basically, direct quote from the Smithsonian article is, he responds that things decompose quickly in the swamp, and at 2.2 million acres, it's the largest area of protected land east of the Mississippi. Most of it rarely visited, so he argues that a handful of reclusive animals could live in it essentially unnoticed and leave virtually no evidence of their entire existence.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Hmm. Hey,
See, I feel
hey,
like
Dave.
yes,
I'm gonna say that you're wrong about this one.
because I'm like, weird bugs could exist because bugs are tiny and nobody really pays attention. But I feel like a 7 foot tall zooming lad is gonna cause a little bit of a ruckus.
Yeah, I mean, you would notice, right? Right? Like you
And
would
people
notice.
have noticed. You want to get into sightings?
Yes, I
Because
do want to get into
people,
sightings. I do want to say one more thing on Dave Shealy, um,
absolutely.
because as much as I love that he is this absolute nut for the skunk ape, seeing it when you were 10 does not actually qualify you to talk on it in any scientific field. Not at all.
Like, people bring him sightings and then he goes and investigates them. Like, he's made an effort to track this thing in, like, a fairly legitimate way. It's very impressive. I just, it's a that's just a big lad going so fast.
So fast. And you would notice, right?
You
Okay.
would.
Speaking of
So,
sightings, I just saw
mm,
what this thing looks like on its Wikipedia page,
yeah,
which is so amazing.
he's a
Holy
lad. He's
fuck.
an absolute unit of a lad.
I love the way he looks on his Wikipedia page. I Okay, I'm tweeting this one out too because this is even more important, arguably, than the last one.
I love the Skunk Ape research field guide photo that you have posted to the twitter.com.
Yeah, the field guide photo looks like it was hand drawn by Dave when he was 10 when he first saw it. Um,
Good
but
lord.
this thing looks like it was drawn by a person who who's never seen this creature, but it was very very poorly described to them by someone with an like not a full grasp of the language that they were describing it in. That's what this Wikipedia image looks like.
Incredible.
His face is
Incredible.
so round. He looks like E.T., but if he had hair and was super beefy, but mostly on his legs. He's thick as fuck. He's
Oh my
thick as fuck.
god,
His
that's so
forearms are
valid.
longer than his upper arm, which is fucking nuts.
You better tweet this photo. Tweet
I'm
this photo
tweeting
right now,
it.
you coward. I want to see this shit.
It's so good. Oh my god.
Okay, but we are sort of nearing a bit of a thing, so I'm gonna hit these sightings real quick.
Yeah, no, definitely hit these sightings. I want to know all about who has seen this. I just wanted to mention that this was my sighting. It was this Wikipedia.
Oh my
And it just,
god.
oh my god, it's so, oh my god.
He looks like a character from the Lorax.
He does. He looks like the Lorax and E.T. were fused.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
It is. It's,
He's like that.
why is he like that?
Okay, but we are gonna get into the sightings because these now seem a whole lot more traumatic.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, you got a
Who saw
picture that
that in the woods?
these are black and white drawings. The actual skunk ape itself is supposed to have like bright red hair, like
Okay, I'm gonna
brown.
go into Photoshop and I'm gonna edit it with some bright red hair, and I'm gonna tweet it.
Good. So first sighting,
Uh,
uh, that we have like so we have Dave Shealy, who had his first sighting in 1947, which is like the first publicized sighting. But the first like recorded sighting is a pair of hunters who had their camp invaded in 1957 by this thing. Like it ran,
whoa!
sprinted into their camp, knocked their tent over, took their stuff, and just bolted.
It took their stuff.
Yeah, it stole their food and ran.
That's amazing.
Like just an absolute zooming bear. Like imagine that. You're in a swamp. You're just with your buddy. It's 1957. Like you're tired. This sucks. Everything
This
sucks.
fucking Teletubby ass motherfucker runs in, grabs all your food, and sprints out at over 20 miles an hour. What do you do?
You don't. You just don't.
You leave. You just back up and you leave
leave.
at that point.
So that's a big one. The
Okay.
second sighting that I'm gonna mention, I'm just gonna gloss over it a little bit, is so usually when we get a sighting, it's like, two people, sometimes a group of four, when you get like a couple people in a car,
Yeah.
How many people are in this other sighting I'm gonna mention?
I'm not gonna look at the notes. And I'm gonna guess 6, maybe 10.
30 to 40 people, like a whole ass tour group.
Oh, that seems like
Had a
many.
Yeah,
That
had a
seems like many more than anything else we've ever covered, actually.
Yeah, it is. This is the biggest sighting group we've had. It was a sighting in 1997 for a 7-foot tall red haired ape. They were going on like a swamp tour, and this thing booked it out of the woods, looked at them, saw them, and then ran. And like everybody gives a recording of this sighting. Like this was a thing that all of these people did see. And do you know what their response
Interesting.
was? This terrible traumatic sighting that happened?
I don't.
So this is how I know we're human. They baited the area with lima beans to see if they could catch this thing with a massive net.
With lima beans? God,
Yeah,
it does
because
look
they're
like
like
something that would eat lima beans, huh?
they're convinced it's an omnivore because it's an ape. So they're like, okay, so we'll bait the area with lima beans and see if this thing is gonna come out and take the bait.
That's such a like wild thing. Like specifically lima beans. Uh, like there's two options to how they came to the conclusion of lima beans, and one is they saw this Elmo ass motherfucker, and they were like, that fucker eats lima beans. That guy, he eats lima beans because he just looks like that TM.
Yeah,
Um, he looks like the kind of guy who would eat a raw lima bean. That's just a fact.
just
Two, the other option is they just had buckets of lima beans just sitting around, and they're like, fuck, what do we do with all these goddamn lima beans? And they're like, well, we saw a big orange monkey in the woods. And they're like, fuck yeah, let's give it to him.
oh my god. And they had like a net. Like it wasn't like a trap thing where they put like a stick on a box and they just hope that he gets the lima beans and they pull the stick out. No. They were like they threw a bunch of lima beans on the ground and they waited in a bush with a net. Like if you don't get that dude on the first try, you are toe to toe with an ape that can zoom at 22 miles an hour. That's your plan. That's your plan. That's your plan. That's the bed
That's your
theory that you
plan.
decided you want to lie in.
That is also like such a weird, like, comically bad, like, comically bad, comedically bad plan. Like, what are you gonna do? Throw a net over? Like, I don't know if you've. It's like pretty much you just throw a blanket with some extra holes in it, right? Like, it's super easy to get out of a net if you just throw it over someone. Like, if it's not weighted or anything. Like, it's just like an
Yeah,
inconvenient
I'm
blanket.
gonna level with you completely here. This sounds like these people have never watched a cartoon. Like anybody who has seen a cartoon before can tell you exactly where this is going. These people just haven't seen a cartoon, which is why they didn't bolt from the fucking 7 foot tall orangutan that's just zooming around the swamp. But yeah, I think that just about covers it for the
Is
skunk
that
ape,
is that all we got on the skunk ape? It's too bad because
as far as the
I've
information
fallen
I
in
have.
love with this guy over the course of this episode. I could do without Dan Sheely
Marty?
tagging along, being an awkward third wheel on this date, but
Oh dear.
man, I'm a big fan of the skunk ape.
Marty.
Yep. Yes. I think my Discord is crashing. Um,
Yeah.
because my
You sound okay
computer
now.
is dying. Yeah.
Do you want to see if we can wrap this up really quick?
Yeah, I think that might be. As I said, I'm a big fan of this skunk man, and I am going to um, say that if you would like to hear more about the skunk ape or other cryptids, you can follow us on Twitter at OnCryptids. Um, we also do a Twitch stream every week, from 8 to 8:30 now. Actually, we've changed it up. 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. every week on Thursdays. So you can hop by to chat with us, to ask some follow-up questions about the episode, or just to hang out. We play Minecraft, and it's a lot of fun.
Now,
We
we
really
don't
enjoy.
stream on a Cryptids on Cryptids channel. We stream on the channel that's tied to our company, which is the Midcast. Uh,
Yes,
the Minecraft stream is on Thursdays, 8:30 to 10:30. Now, you do a stream on Saturdays, don't you?
I am still figuring out a place to put that stream. I
Absolutely.
tried to do it last week, but it really was in the way of a lot of my other scheduling stuff. So I may end up having to move that to a different time, as I work through my schedule with school starting and, everything going on. So, um, yeah, I will keep you guys posted on our Twitter about that stream. Um, but other than that, we always look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. We love seeing you guys on Twitter, and we are so happy that you guys are liking and sharing these episodes. And it's honestly something we look forward to doing every week. So thank you for following. Thank you for sharing, and
And we thank you guys for your support.
we'll
We'll
see
see y'all
y'all
in
in
the
the
woods.
woods. All right.